joining us today on Live Music Nation podcast. I'm your host, Jake Gill. Today we're with Steve Quakenbush from Finney County Historical Society. They are responsible for a number of events there, including the Arts and Crafts Festival. They've got a lot of different things going on through the year. Steve, thanks for joining us.
Glad to be here.
Steve, give us a little background on you. Where did you grow up? And tell us a little bit about your career up until this point with the society.
Oh, on me? Well, I'm a Garden City native. I lived briefly 8 years in Liberal, but I started life in Garden City. Been here most of that time, except for 8 or 9 years. And I've been director at the Finney County Historical Society, which is also the Finney County Museum. And that will be 10 years on the 1st of February.
All right. So, very good. Congratulations. Tell us about some of your bigger events that you guys have throughout the year.
Well, you know, we kind of have a combination plate of events, and the biggest enchilada on that plate is the Flea Market Festival. Officially, that is the Flea Market Festival of Antiques, Collectibles, Art, and Crafts. And that takes place usually the weekend after Independence Day. It'll be the 8th of July this year. And this will be our 14th year. We didn't know if number 13 would be lucky or not, but worked out pretty well for us. And it is largely a craft, antique, collectible fair with vendor booths.
Okay.
And then it also includes kind of a large, oversized garage sale of donated items in the museum. And people familiar with Garden City will understand this, but you know, the Finney County Museum is located right next to Lee Richardson Zoo in Garden City.
Okay.
So we do this on the patio on the south side of the museum, and then we spread out into several acres of Lee Richardson Zoo. We have had as many as 55 visiting vendors from all over western Kansas, some from central and eastern Kansas, occasionally eastern Colorado, Oklahoma, and Texas. And we kind of took a little hit because of COVID, but we're building back. I believe we had 36 vendors here last summer, and over the course of a few hours, it always runs, by the way, from 8 in the morning to 2 in the afternoon.
Okay.
And people say, 2 o'clock, why are you closing at 2 o'clock? Because it's July. And it's warm. But for just that few hours, we had I want to say over 2,500 people here.
Okay, and very good.
It's kind of a fun event because it's shopping, and you also, of course, get to meet your friends and neighbors in the sun and shade at the zoo and at the museum. And the cool thing is, our friend and neighbor next door to us, literally, is Lee Richardson Zoo. Well, the Friends of Lee Richardson Zoo, at the same time we conduct the Flea Market Festival, they have the Jungle Run Auto Show, and they bring in
very cool.
Cars and pickups and motorcycles. So it's a great day for people to come down and just peruse around. We have food, we have crafts. We probably, as craft type events go, we probably have more antique vendors than is typical. You know, we'll have 8 or 10 folks just selling antiques and collectibles, and I love this. We have one vendor who always lists her merchandise as rusty junk. We have that here. That particular event doesn't involve any entertainment. The entertainment is just coming down and seeing what the vendors have. There's food as well, take-home food and eat on-site food.
Yep. And
you know, I hate to play favorites, but we have one vendor who comes from down south of us, I believe in the area around Sublette, Kansas. She brings homemade pie.
There you go.
And she brings like 45 pies, cuts them into slices, seven slices per pie. And, you know, by noon, it's gone. She's sold out. You know? But we'll have metalworks, leathercraft, quilts, blankets, toys. We have a vendor that has vintage toys as well as contemporary items. We've had a vendor that makes lamps out of everything you could think of, parking meters, plumbing parts, just all kinds of things. People with plants, just a little bit of everything. So it's a lot of fun.
Great. Hey, so Steve, what got you going with this? Why did you choose to get involved with these events?
Well, we try to tie everything we do as a museum and a historical society into celebration of history. Honestly, it's a fundraiser. We need to raise funds to keep the doors open for the museum, but it's also, our mission to celebrate history. Well, when we bring in antiques, that ties it in with history.
There you go.
It's amazing what people might be able to find, like windmill blades, railroad signs. We have a gentleman who comes every year who has antique machinery and antique machine parts, and he had a 1911 one-cylinder industrial engine in his booth running, the whole day.
What is the advantage to your community to have these events?
Well, I think several things. Since Garden City is kind of a center of trade for Southwest Kansas anyway, that just brings even more people to the community. So the advantage for Garden City is we're already attracting shoppers from a pretty broad area, and this brings in even more. It also helps people interact and engage with the museum. People come for exhibits. In fact, we just finished a year with, I want to say close to 22,000 visitors through the museum. But this lets people engage with history and engage with us in another way, well. Plus, we like the idea of supporting local and area artists and artisans, Kansas, Oklahoma, Colorado, but especially Kansas. And so that's an opportunity there as well.
No, that makes good sense. I appreciate you doing that for us. Give us the dates for your main events this year.
Well, let me see. This year, the Flea Market Festival will be the 8th of July. That's Saturday, the 8th of July. We're planning another event on March 11th, and that is the Southwest Kansas Antiques Appraisal Fair. I'll tell you what, if you've ever watched Antiques Roadshow, we're not affiliated with Antiques Roadshow.
Right.
People tell us our event on March 11th is like that. People bring their heirlooms and their keepsakes from home, and they come and share them. And we have a panel of volunteer antique dealers who will evaluate those items, tell about the history, and then also try to give them an approximate value on that. Yeah. So we do that. Go ahead.
No, I think that's a great idea to bring your community, whether you're associated with them or not. It's not like they have their strategy patented as it goes through there. Steve, how do people find out more about the events that you guys host through the Historical Society?
2 or 3 ways. We're on Facebook, just Finney County Museum on Facebook.
Okay.
We are happy to visit with folks on the phone at 620-272-3664. And if they're in the area, they're welcome to stop by the museum. If you're familiar with Garden City, we're located right next to the zoo. Our street address is 403 South 4th Street.
Yep.
You just get on 4th Street and come south, and you'll come into Finney Park, and we're right there. And exhibits are open 1 to 5 right now, but our business entrance on the north side of the building is open 9 to 5. Folks can come in then, and we're happy to bring them up to date.
That's fantastic. All right, Steve, I'm a live music guy. I'm a live entertainment guy. So I always ask these 2 questions in any interview. Number 1,
sure.
What is the best concert you've ever seen your entire life?
Oh my gosh, that would go way back. in my entire life one time. Oh, sometime in the 70s, I was at Fort Hays State University, and Linda Ronstadt was there.
Linda Ronstadt. Listen to that name I haven't heard in a while. All right.
Well, that's ancient history, yeah.
Let me ask you this. Dead or alive, you could bring any one musical artist back. Cost is no issue to raise money for the Finney County Historical Society. Who would you book as your concert headliner?
You know, this wouldn't be a big act at all. Our friends next door at the zoo have an event every fall, and they bring in a band. They brought a band in from the Jetmore, Kansas area called Buckner Creek.
Okay.
And my gosh, were they good. I'm trying to be practical there, you know.
No, I want you to, I'm glad that you're being practical, but if you were going to be completely impractical and you could have anybody in the world that would draw hundreds of thousands of people to Garden City, who would you bring?
You know, that would be a hard one. I think I'd probably need to book a country artist here in Western Kansas, but if I had my choice, I'd bring Nora Jones in.
Oh, there you go. Nora Jones would draw all the way from Denver to Kansas City and through, for sure.
I think so.
Yeah, very good. Steve, thank you very much for joining us today. I appreciate you greatly.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, baby, I'm on it with a bottle